It says Ultra right there on the box, so it should be really good at ultras, you would think. And before we get stuck into the review, just a little silly detail about Inov8 shoes here. I like this, look, it says, obsessed is just a word the lazy use to describe the dedicated. Yeah, I'm really sad, I like that. But enough of that. So here we have the Inov8 Race Ultra 290. So right off the bat, let's just talk about this Ultra thing. Inov8 are saying this is a shoe you can use for ultras. And I personally think that's a really bold thing to say. You're coming out right there. Ultras are obviously extremely hard, and you can get a shoe that you use for 10Ks that's fine, it's good. It's not an amazing shoe, it's pretty good. It's got a couple of little foibles, a couple of little things that aren't perfect, but it's fine, it's a 10K. You take those same shoes, you stick them into a half marathon, all of a sudden those couple of little foibles, they're more issues. They're not mega issues, but they're issues. Take those same shoes, use them for a full marathon. Those two things are now big issues. Would you use them for a marathon? You probably wouldn't. Now all of a sudden, take those same couple of foibles and put them onto an ultra. You know, what I'm saying is a shoe for an ultra, to say your shoe is an ultra shoe or a shoe suitable and good for ultras, that's an extremely bold claim, because that's like saying our shoe is the most amazing thing since sliced bread. Which is very bold indeed. So let's get into the basics on this. This is a standard kind of trail shoe from Inov8, and Inov8 do a lot of trail shoes, so they should be very good and know what they're doing. You've got a nice grippy outsole, not an outsole that's been designed for super deep mud, but in most other terrains and for an awful lot of ultras where a lot of it's going to be off-road, yeah, suitably good and grippy. You have a mesh upper with welded overlays, good bit of protection around here, so again if you're splashing through some minor puddles, should keep your feet dry. Room for your feet to breathe on top. You've got your traditional EVA mid-foam there, obviously the hardened rubber outsole there, regular lacing system there, so far so good. You've got an 8mm heel to toe drop, and this shoe came in on my size, and actually talking of sizing, I did go up half a size. So I'm normally a UK 11. I think the Inov8s I've had have always gone up half a size. I think most people I know that run Inov8s go up half a size. So I've gone up half a size in this. As a UK 11.5, it came in at 366 grams, or a smidge under 13 ounces. Now, quickly touching on the sizing, going up half a size, I'm not sure I needed to. It had a surprisingly spacious toe box, which I actually quite liked, but we'll come on to that. So you might get away with going true to size. If you're looking at these, I mean, these, I think they're either winding down or being discontinued now. If you can try them on, great. Personally, going up half a size worked for me, but I think they could be on the fence. You might get away with going true to size. In terms of flexibility, yeah, it's a little bit stiff. There is some flexibility. There is a trail shoe, so you expect it to be a little bit stiffer because it's got to put up with, you know, the abuses that you could get out on trail. But all in all, pretty good. So let's get into the things that I think are great and maybe not so great. Starting with the things I think are great. I like the way it looks. I'm not saying it's a super handsome shoe, because it's not, but it does look like it is designed for a purpose. This all looks very functional to me, and I like that. I like how you've got the welded overlays all around the bottom here have clearly been designed to keep out moisture, as I said earlier, from sort of more shallow puddles, whilst the top part of the shoe is there to let your foot breathe, which it does. When I've run in this, my feet have not got hot. I have enjoyed the toe box in the fact that there's room for your toes to splay. If you were to do a long distance race, your feet can swell a little bit, and you do want room for your toes, especially if you're doing a really long distance race in them. Good protection for your toes there. This is all fairly solid. I like that. I felt that my foot was protected, as it were. The grip, I run on a variety of surfaces with this, all different types, and it's always just keyed nicely into the ground and gripped to the point where I really felt that I could attack a course on this, you know, or attack a trail or something like that, because it kind of latches in and you kind of go, and I liked that. I liked it a lot. I liked how this all kind of worked, and you felt like you were clawing yourself along in a very positive sort of running type of way. So that was all awesome as well. I have read online, some people have said they felt it was a little bit narrow in places. Personally, I can't say as I felt that. I actually felt it was pretty comfortable actually on the upper, but say I did go up half a size, so maybe that's the thing. Maybe those people who felt it was a bit, you know, smidge tight didn't go up half a size. Obviously difficult for me to say that, but I found the upper to be very, very comfortable indeed. And the other thing I liked is it does feel sturdy. It feels solid and well built, and you think, yeah, this is a shoe that you should get an awful lot of miles. Obviously, if you're doing a lot of trails, it does depend on what you're putting them through, because they're going to put up with more abuse, but it feels robust. But it's not all pop hits and pop tarts. What are the things that maybe are not so great? Well, it's a biggie. The cushioning. If you were being kind, you'd call it responsive. I would just say it's too firm for an ultra. If I was going to go and do even a 50k, you know, traditionally your shorter type of ultras, to be frank, no, I would not use this shoe for an ultra. The cushioning was just there just wasn't enough of it. It was just way too firm. Having said that, for like a 10k trail race or a 10-mile trail race, hell yes, I would use this shoe. And I have raced in it, and I really enjoyed how it felt on those shorter distances. Now, maybe if the ground was a bit softer, but then you'd want almost soft ground for the length almost of your ultra. But for me personally, the cushioning way too stiff, too firm, not comfortable enough. Don't think this would give you good comfort and protect. Well, it would protect your feet, but not protect it kind of from the, you know, 50 kilometers, 50 miles, 100 miles, whatever it is your ultra would be, of like pummeling your feet. For me, I cannot see it. I'm sure people would say, oh, they've done 100 miles or whatever in this shoe, and that, yeah, great for you. But for me, just nope. Would never. The cushioning, just a whole big load of nope. But that's really all I would say. I mean, a little observation is it doesn't have quite the normal kind of where you would do the lace lock technique, although it has got a little kind of bit here where the laces are set there, but that's not really an issue because the heel felt nice and secure. And even though I did go up half a size, there was no heel slip and it all felt great apart from the cushioning. So, summary time. And this, I've been sort of deliberating over this because it says Ultra on the box, and there's no way I would use it for an ultra, and I wouldn't recommend anyone else use it for an ultra unless you like really firm shoes, in which case knock yourself out. But I think for sort of more normal mortals, those of us that are, you know, mid-pack in an ultra or further down, no, I wouldn't. But if you said to me, do I think this is a good shoe for a 10k trail race or a 10-mile trail race, I'd be going, oh, hell yeah, this is great. This is fantastic. You'll have great fun with this. It works really well. So the dichotomy is it doesn't work, in my opinion, really well for what it says on the box, but it does work really well for shorter distances. So I'm going to give it 4 stars for that. I probably would have given it 5 if it didn't have the word ultra written on the box. I have enjoyed it for those shorter runs and those shorter trail runs. I think it's very versatile. I think it does a lot of good things if you like a firmer ride. If you really like a firm ride, then you'll absolutely love this thing. But I have enjoyed it, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for it, but in those shorter distances. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.